Hey guys, welcome back to Book Chat, and today we're going to be diving into the idea of world building. We're going to be talking about some of our favorite stories, fantasy construction of some of the best worlds, and some of our favorite places we like to visit in our minds, in our books, in our minds,
In both of them?
in both of them at the
Together
same
as well.
time.
In our visual experience?
Yeah, and that sometimes on movies. You
Yes.
know? There's a lot of different places we can go with this.
Yeah.
So that without further ado, let's just go ahead and jump in, shall we?
Yeah,
let's do it.
Should.
Let's dive in.
Yeah.
So, where should we start? Because world building is such a broad subject
Right.
matter.
Well,
And
maybe we
so-
should talk about like what world building entails
Is.
exactly.
Yes.
Yes,
Exactly.
okay.
Well-
So I would consider the idea of world building the construction of the universe that the characters interact with and
Yeah.
exist in. And that can involve a lot of different components. Obviously, a world is as big as the author wants to make it and how complex the story wants to interact within it. This can be anything from a small neighborhood, if that's where if that's where the character lives, to an entire galaxy that Sasha has constructed.
It's
in her
actually
book.
a universe now.
Oh, sorry, universe. I apologize.
I
Even
mean, a
larger.
galaxy. That's all we got into at this point.
To an entirely new fictional medieval inspired fantasy
Yeah.
world that has new languages, new history, new people, new
Yeah.
races.
Yeah.
It can get complicated.
Yeah, and
Really
there's
complicated.
like creatures that are involved in it, and like just different aspects, and like how people interact can like combine into the world that they're building, and
Exactly.
it's so intense.
Yeah.
It really is, and it's all about the experience of not just the characters, but it's about the experience as a reader. And
Right.
you want to be immersed fully into the subject matter that the whole story entails, but you also want to be surrounded by the environment that the characters are in. You don't want to ever be pulled out of it sometimes.
Right.
Like, I know that sometimes like you could be like jerked out of the novel
Yeah.
and you're totally like caught off guard, but when the story building, the world building is so just dense with perfection, you just like you're staying in there. You never want to leave.
Yeah.
You have to
Yeah.
have the book like ripped out of
Yeah.
your hand.
Yes.
You're like, you need to go to dinner.
Exactly. I would say one of my favorite elements of world building is actually magic systems. I always really, again, I read a lot of fantasy.
Yeah.
So when authors construct like a unique to the world magic system, I just think it's so awesome.
Yeah.
One of my favorite examples of this is a series by Brett Weeks, the Lightbringer series,
Okay.
which is centered around the magic system is centered around the concept of light. So obviously light is like a spectrum, so there's colors, and depending on like the rays, there's a brightness. And magic wielders in this world can basically harness different colors on that light spectrum, and the more colors you can harness, the more powerful you are. So the whole society is centered around the use and the absorption of light and the training of that, and each light color has a different property and use.
Ooh.
But the catches in the magic system in this world is the more you use, the quicker you die. So you basically
Okay.
use yourself up as a magic wielder.
Wow.
So when there's like conflicts with
Yeah.
political wars or physical wars or type of competition, like you could be the best, but that might mean you burn out the
Yeah.
fastest as well. Like you
Oh,
could
wow.
die at the age of 25.
Yeah.
So it's like an interesting like
There's so much to play around
dynamic.
with.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's really cool actually.
Yeah.
Ryan, so like you read sometimes, but what is your favorite like magical system almost in a novel? Like what have you read that really just has something that really encaptures your attention?
Okay, for me, I nerd out all the time over like dragons and
Yeah,
like just
dragons.
cool,
Yeah.
scaly looking
They're
things.
just
They're cool, and
They're so awesome.
Yeah, I love just the idea of like having a creature that can literally like shoot fire out of their body. I think it's just so interesting how writers can like just create something so
Yeah.
bizarre and weird. Like so many different creatures are like everywhere in a bunch
Yeah.
of different books. So I think it's weird how like different authors can just pick something and
Yeah.
roll with it.
And be like, this is cool. Like
Yeah.
something that is out of the magic system, but more into the science world because I have a lot of experience now with world building in a scientific manner because I have always loved astronomy and I always loved the study of space and time. And so when Lindsay and I sat down to write Zenith, we actually had to do a lot of research that went into the world building because not everything, but most of the things had to make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially scientifically. So
Yes.
for example, you can have a planet that is just, fire and live on it. You have to have a Goldilocks
Yeah.
planet to sustain life that
Right.
we have it in Mirabel.
Right.
Mirabel is the galaxy, and so we have to make, Goldilocks planets, which
Yeah.
are Earth, and it's not too far away from the sun that it is extremely cold, but it's close enough to the sun where it's perfect for somebody to live. That's
Right.
pretty much the definition of Goldilocks is. And whenever we had like a planet that you necessarily couldn't really live on, we had to find a way to build upon that and be like,
Yeah.
how do they live here?
Right.
Yeah.
What do we do? Like, we have a terraform planet. We have a planet full of tunnels and like systems
Yeah.
underneath
What
the ground.
creatures live there?
Yeah.
What do they drink?
Yeah,
what do they
eat?
eat?
Yeah.
You had to like formulate all this, and I know that I wrote like at least 10 pages of history of Mirabel.
Yeah.
That just little bits of it are in the book, but
Yeah.
you need to have that background.
Yeah.
You
And
need to have the vision
That's what I was
before
gonna
you
say. You
can
have
tell
to have
people
like
about
that
it.
research
I know.
because, like, I mean, you have Percy Jackson or like Harry Potter. They
Yes.
have to like have that research because yes, you can go like out there and you can go so fantasy, but you also have to have like a realistic aspect
Yes.
so that the reader, when they're reading, believes it.
Believes it,
because
yeah.
it has that like pinch of reality.
You can
so
understand
that
it, yeah.
so that
Yeah.
it's like real to
based
them.
in something.
Have you guys ever felt like when you're reading a book or watching a movie that it was just so crazy and so unexplained that you just couldn't read it, or
Yeah.
that was very
Yeah.
difficult? Because I feel like whenever I read a book that has a very complex system that isn't described well,
Yeah.
I end up just getting more confused and frustrated, and it's all muffled in my head.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can't picture
Yeah.
what I want to picture.
I have a
Yeah.
hard time with historical fantasy just because I was a history major.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm like, I mean, obviously it's fantasy, you want to take liberties with history, but then there's sometimes, especially in Russia, I find that people try to do things that historically just would never
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
They like make a ruler, all of a sudden a dreamy good guy. I'm
Yeah.
like, that guy like beheaded a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like he's not all
Not
of a sudden like
romanticize him.
really, really good.
Like Vlad the Impaler.
Yeah, or something. I'm like, let's kind of keep this grounded in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
sort of reality.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
sometimes that throws me off. But you know what I do appreciate when a map's in a book.
Yes.
I just love
Yes.
that.
Oh,
Maps.
wow.
Yes, I love because then you get to like actually like
Yeah,
you're
follow them
there,
along.
follow them along, and like you feel like you're actually
Yeah.
part of the story. So
Yeah.
it's really cool when like they
it's
have.
so cool.
Yeah.
It's immersive. And also, that's something that like if I'm ever muffled in my head and I want to see where these characters are, maps are what bring
Yeah.
that muffledness in my head
And
to
back
like
to it.
clarity. And
Yeah.
I really love that.
It's like a
And
roadmap.
It
Yeah.
is, and maps are just so cool. Like, and I especially love them when they're really well done.
Yeah.
Because I've seen like some okay ones, some very big
Some
ones, but then I've
very-
seen the
yeah.
very detailed ones. And I'm
Detailed
like,
ones.
can I,
That
like,
fold
slow my
out.
roll?
Yes.
If you want to see some good maps, Brandon Sanderson, The Way of Kings, has like the most glorious map. There's like it's like multiple pages. He's like,
Oh,
all right, so we're
really?
here. Now we're here. It's like an atlas.
That's so
Ooh.
cool.
I
Yeah.
love it. Is that a bunch of chit chat?
Is
Oh,
that chit-chat?
That
Chit-chat?
sounds like a
Chit-chat?
bunch of
Sounds like
chit-chat.
Hey everybody, J.D. Netto here, the author of the Whispers of the Fallen books, and let's talk world building. Whenever you're tackling your world building, you want to make sure that you create environments and places that your characters can thrive and that will move the plot forward. Create locations that readers will fall in love with and that will surely keep them engaged and will inspire them to finish the book.
Alright, so for our game this episode, we're going to be guessing where all of these items are from that contribute into the world of the story.
Great.
So why don't we start with this one?
A nice little shield.
I'm
Nice
like
little shield.
Wonder Woman.
Percy Jackson?
Yeah,
Percy Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually.
Shields
so,
are awesome.
Yeah, he would have like the pin sword.
Yeah.
and
Shield.
Yep.
What is it called, the pen sword?
I think I honestly.
I can-
The
Riptide.
Riptide. Thank
Riptide.
you, Camera
Oh.
guy. Thanks, Edgar. All right, so this one should be really easy.
Is that Harry Potter?
Harry Potter.
wand?
Harry
Okay.
Potter one. This is
Do I get to hold
iconic. So let's go here.
Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that is definitely Sage Alexander.
I was gonna say that.
That's
Is
crazy.
that a demon book?
It
It's
is. That's
actually
amazing.
so cool.
Book.
If you guys have seen like the
So
inside
cool.
of
Oh, look
it,
at the pages.
Yeah,
It's
look at the
insane.
pages. They're like legit, and then we have like
How thick are these-
creatures in here.
Whoa.
it's like
Yeah,
the
it's
drawings
really
are so
cool.
beautiful. I'm obsessed.
Yeah.
How thick are these pages?
They're very thick. It's very like
Old
legit.
timey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's straight from the book trailer, guys. So
That's just so cool.
so cool.
Wow.
Love it.
All right,
What's next?
let's go to this one.
A key.
This little number.
Oh man.
Key.
I mean, a lot of things have keys.
I know, I'm
A
trying to
lot
Narnia?
of them. No.
So like they don't use a key,
have
but
a
they give
hint?
wardrobe. Sometimes you need
Yeah.
a key to open.
We have a hint.
This is flying in a room.
Also Harry Potter.
Also Harry
Okay.
Potter.
Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber
Yeah.
of Secrets.
Yeah.
I got all the Harry Potter.
All right, so we you want to look at it.
Oh, that's the Lord of the Rings. No, it's not.
No, it's Game of Thrones.
Nope.
No.
Wait.
Is that Narnia?
Oh yeah, Narnia.
Narnia.
Yeah, that's
I was like
Narnia.
Aslan.
Yeah, okay, I saw. I was like,
Aslan.
what words are they using?
I know. Isn't that so cool? Like that they make up like all of these.
Because there's the
things.
wardrobe, the
Yeah, the
lamppost.
wardrobe, the lamp.
I feel
Mr.
silly.
Tubman!
I was like, I just immediately was like Lord of the Rings, but I was like looking
love
at this.
James McAvoy so much. Back to this. Does anyone know what this is from? This one is gonna be hard because it's a.
I think it's
very-
adorable for
it's-
one.
Yeah, it's adorable. It's very important within the story, but it happens later within the series.
Like, it is specifically a bird in a cage necklace?
No, just think of the bird in the cage.
Mockingjay.
Not quite.
I don't know. Can you get a hint?
Yeah.
I'm the queen of asking for
so
hints.
it's not actually a cage. It's like in a cupboard, and it disappears.
What?
I'm like.
My cupboard because my family takes all my food. Then it just magically disappears.
I don't know.
Someone puts the bird there.
And it disappears.
Who's calling? No.
Y'all give up?
Yeah?
Okay,
think
so
so.
it's Harry Potter.
Again?
Okay.
Yes, again!
Why? I was like, it
I was
can't
like,
be
there's
Harry
no way
Potter
that there's
again.
gonna be 3 Harry
It's gonna be Harry
Potters.
Potter. Okay, so like when Malfoy put
Yeah,
the
yeah,
bird,
yeah.
and then it
Yeah.
disappears, and then it comes back and it's
Yeah.
no longer living.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
We all
That's
missed that
sad.
one.
I do remember that. I just was
Yeah.
like, surely there can't be more. I have all my Harry Potter.
All right,
The memorabilia.
let's do that one. You want to pick that one up, Sasha?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a guess for that.
You have a guess for that?
Is that Percy Jackson, but like the Norse one?
Literally, I'm just thinking about Vikings. They play those
Yeah.
cards when they
Yeah.
go and fight into battle. Yeah.
Yeah.
They scare off the enemy.
A nice Viking
Kinda.
book.
We've already we've had something from there already.
Narnia.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
okay.
Really? Okay. I
Yeah, he has a horn that makes
Yeah,
total
he has a
sense now.
horn. Yeah. All right, and then the last one, you know, get the.
I was paying
All
attention
right,
like this
so
thing.
this one looks like this. It's a beautiful map.
Oh my gosh, that is so pretty.
It's so pretty.
Wait.
I
And then
can't
we'll
see
see-
anything yet.
Oh. This is.
Do you know this one?
I haven't
Yeah,
seen it.
this is the Lord of the Rings because
Lord of
that's
the Rings,
Ronan,
yeah.
and then like
Middle Earth,
Yeah, here's
yeah.
Middle Earth.
There's so
and
many
this
Lord
is
of the
where,
Rings
like,
references.
Sauron
I
is.
know.
This is his realm, and this is where I could go all day.
I could go all day.
I need to read these books and
This is
rewatch
where some of
these
the Elvis
movies.
Yeah.
kingdoms are. Here's the, those are the 3
All
holdings
them.
of men.
Can you say some of these words?
Nope.
Okay. But yeah, so you guys did you literally are so
Oh, wait, how many
good
points did you
guessing.
have? 2?
Like 5.
She's like amazing at guessing. It's
I
like I, feel
know.
like she has like a cheat sheet at the back of her head.
Yeah,
It's just,
Like
She's
literally,
and she's like,
we
which
have
one is
no
that?
chance against like.
yeah, I mean, I've never read or like I don't know much about Lord of the
Lord
Rings
of
or
the
anything
Rings,
like
yeah.
that. Yeah, I guess I do need to know
You
more now.
shall not pass
You
my
don't
knowledge
know
of trivia.
Okay, guys, so that's about it for this episode. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode coming to you very soon.
Make sure you
And
subscribe.
subscribe to the channel
like down
below, red button, and thank you guys for watching.
Bye, guys.